Alright, hey, Hayes Omega here, and welcome to the after action review for the Sierra Nevada Moto Championship Round 2, alright? This is actually, it's the second round, but I missed the first round, alright? The reason I missed the first round, why did I miss the first round again? Because of Virginia City Grand Prix, okay? So I raced the Virginia City Grand Prix, and I took home the second place trophy in the electric class with the light B, okay? So yeah, that's a scoop. So the second round took place on May 25th and 26th, all right, 2024, at the Stockton Little 99 kart track, all right. So I've never ridden at that track before, okay. Not gonna lie, I've known it's existed for a long time now, but I've just, I've never got a chance to go over there and ride. And well, my very first time is we're going racing, almost, anyways. So the Saturday, the 25th, right, it's a Memorial Day for one thing, and it was a practice day, okay? So Saturday was practice, and then Sunday were all the races, all right? And it's all asphalt. There's no dirt section at the kart track. How did I know about this track? Oh, Hades Mega was in the Army National Guard, all right? I was in the HHC 3rd of the 140th Aviation Unit in the Stockton Armory, which is at the airport. All right, there was an aviation unit there, down the road from the racetrack, pretty much. All right, if you drove a few miles up, you would see the track. Okay, so the track is at the fairgrounds there in Stockton, and yeah, actually, surprisingly, it was a pretty nice track actually, and it's not far from where I live. Hayes Omega lives about 70 miles from Stockton. That's what I want to say. Yeah, it's not close, but it's closer than the other places I've been racing. So let's say, alright guys, Hayes has been racing in Reno and Redding a lot, and those places are far from where I live, okay? So it was kind of refreshing to be able to race someplace closer to home, okay? Okay, also I want to mention, I've been sick. I've been sick for like more than a week. Yeah, I've been sick for like a week. I think I had COVID. I'm not 100%. I didn't get the test, but it felt like I had COVID. I was really sick for a few days. And then Hayes Meg has been recovering. I'm still a little sick right now. I still get a little cough, as I want to say, which is really annoying. And when I started getting better, I didn't have the strength to do things for very long. That's what I say, alright? I would just do something and I get tired and I go back to bed type of thing, okay? So I've been recovering from being sick, okay? About a week since the worst of it, is what I'm going to say. So, and yeah, I haven't actually been riding a whole lot. I took the red shift out like a couple days ago just for a ride, and yeah, that was it. So here we are racing again, alright? Actually, we were supposed to race in somewhere not too far from Stockton. In Escalon, there was the Grass Ranch MX pit bike race, and I missed it because I was sick, okay? I was thinking, hey, if I get better before the race, and no way. I was like in bed, sick, so this is my first race back from when I got sick. I got sick on an Alaskan cruise, by the way, guys, okay? Okay, so that's a scoop. So after action review is what was supposed to happen, what really happened, and things we could do to improve, all right, for next time, okay? And then so here it is. So what was supposed to happen? We were supposed to race the Sierra Nevada Moto Championship Round 2, okay? Like I said, I missed the first one. It's also the Moto America Junior Cup qualifier, right? But that's only for kids. Yeah, and you have to have like a certain spec bike to race in these races. I'm not really sure how. I'm not really sure how it works, because there's the Moto America qualifier people. They race in the same race as the Sierra Nevada Championship and stuff. And yeah, it's kind of weird. Okay, that's what I say. But I think if you race and you do good, you get points, and then the points give you enough points to qualify to race at the Nationals in Wisconsin. All right, not somewhere close by. So say, yeah, you would think there would be maybe like a qualifier like a north-south qualifier, east-west qualifier for, I don't know, man. I don't know how it works, okay? But Hayes Omega isn't really involved in all that. But it's kind of cool that Moto America was involved in this race, okay, type of thing. So Saturday, the plan was to go practice, all right, and that's what I did. I've got the light B and we've got the red shift. All right, Hayes Omega was planning to race. So on Sunday, Hayes Omega was planning to race in the 65 GP race with the light B, open amateur on the red shift. All right, because they didn't have a 250 class. If they had a 250 class, I would have just raced that instead. I have two choices for the red shift: the vet class or the open amateur race. All right, and so I chose. It seemed like the open amateur race would be more fun. It would be like more people's, you know. Or the vet class, you're kind of. I mean, you're in the vet class, you're kind of guaranteed to get a trophy if not a lot of vets show up to race, like old folks. All right, older folks. And Hayes Omega would be racing in vet 40 is what I would be racing. Okay. But I chose to, well, I guess I could have raced both of them too, but I didn't have the money, man. Hayes Omega didn't want to spend more than $200, okay? I'll talk about how much all the racing costs and all that stuff in a bit. Okay, but anyway, yeah, so we raced open amateur, all right? It's an open class that literally you can race unlimited displacement. I'm sure there's a limit or something, but I would say you probably didn't want to race anything bigger than like a 600cc on that track, man. A 600cc, you probably just stay in like first or second gear, you know. So surprisingly, there was no GP kind of or road racer style bikes of that size. No big sport bikes type of thing, which is surprising, as I want to say. Usually we'll have like a Ninja 400 or something. Alright, but yeah, they didn't want to show up, type of thing. Yeah, so we raced Redshift in open amateur, and then we were going to race Super Mini. Alright, so Super Mini is pretty much like the adult Mini or Asphalt Mini, that kind of class. It's like the fastest mini bikes. Pretty much, it's an open class for mini bikes, is what it is. Okay, it's just got to be smaller than like a two. I think 230 is probably the maximum size, okay, of engine, all right? So, of course, we don't have displacement sizes, but yeah, mini, and then this is a big bike. Okay, that's good. Remember that, guys. It's gonna play into my story later on, type of thing, okay? Mini bike, big bike, mini bike, big bike, okay? Anyway, so yeah, so Saturday was practice. That's my first time I've ever been there. And they're saying, from what I've heard, Stockton is it's a little bike track, okay? It's a bike that favors mini bikes type of thing, because it's, you know, you're not really going too fast, and yeah, it's a very flowy track, is what I'm gonna say. It reminds me of Dixon a lot, all right? The Kinsman's kart track is very similar type of thing. Okay, it's just where you're just leaned over a lot. You're constantly leaned over. That's what I want to say. And then you just got like one long straight. Okay, so that one long straight is where you know, powerful bikes get a chance to do their thing. Okay, pretty much only once. Anyway, so that's the scoop. So the plan was to do a practice on each of the batteries. All right, I've got 3 batteries. If you guys haven't been keeping up, I've got I got a new Qi battery. All right, Gladiator 72 compact battery, 38 amp hours. This is the most baddest battery I've got right now. Okay, and it can handle up to 20. It can handle 22 kilowatts continuous, and 30 kilowatts is the max that this controller will do with this battery. Okay. So that's a scoop. I've got a 32 amp hour battery right here, and a 30 amp hour battery. Okay, so I've got a problem with my 32 amp hour Lightspeed battery. Okay, one of the cells is going bad. It's always reporting a cell high or cell low when you get low on charge, type of thing, or you get I guess if you get too high on charge too. So it's best to operate this battery in the middle of its power thingy. Okay, so the range is it's severely limited. All right, so and I'm gonna have to get this battery repaired somehow. Okay, so that's a scoop on that. We'll have to get replace that. It's the cell 10 group is like too high or too low or something. Okay, and there's like 20 groups, guys. So that's a scoop on the batteries and the bike and all that stuff. And it's the same, pretty much the same setup it was when I did the Reading, the first Reading round. Okay, a few months back, type of thing, or yeah, like a month ago only. Okay, we've got the Chaos extended swing arm. All right, and so my plan was to run the bike at 30 kilowatts with the new battery. All right, but then I would run with the other batteries only 15 kilowatts. All right, because these batteries can't handle that kind of power. Literally, that's twice the power from this battery to the other battery. Okay, guys, it's nuts how much power. Okay, yeah, it's literally double from mode 2 to mode 3. So yeah, so that's a scoop. And then we got the redshift. The redshift really hasn't changed all that much since last time. The biggest difference is I've got an NRC rear fender. So the rear end is a lot cleaner on it now. I don't have that big floppy fender on the back anymore, which I like it. That fender really kills the lines of the bikes. All right. Anyway, so yeah. So practice comes along. Hayes Omega got there. I got there Saturday morning. All right. For once, I don't have to go like the day before because I'm driving a long distance. It took me maybe less than an hour and a half to get to that track. Okay, and then we get to the track, about 8 or 9. Nobody's on the track yet. People are still just showing up for practice, and it's all day practice. Okay, guys, and pretty much, and yeah. So here's some information about the Stockton kart track. If you guys don't know, it's $30 to practice all day. All right, and you just go out there and do your thing, type of thing. All right, it's $30 if you're not a member. If you're a member, it's free. Okay, so that's a scoop. I guess you have to wait for the track to open up. All right, if you got to make sure somebody is there. Yeah, you got to make sure somebody's at the track. All right, it's kind of like the Reno track. If you're not a member, you don't have the key to open the gate. All right, and if you don't have the key to open the gate, you can't get in and ride. Okay, so you're gonna have to go there while somebody else is there. Okay, so yeah, you'll have to ask if somebody, hey, is anybody going to be at Stockton? I want to go ride and I'm not a member, type of thing. All right. Anyway, if you're not a member, it's $30. What a bargain to ride all day. You just sign the liability waiver, pay the $30. You can pay through Venmo or PayPal or whatever. I think I did Venmo, and yeah, and then you just go ride. You just hop on the track whenever you want, type of thing. It's pretty relaxed. All right. I don't think there was any corner workers. You pretty much just go out whenever. Right. But we did have the referee was there, Cherie Kano. And sometimes she would make a run group for just the big bikes. Okay, so, but yeah, pretty much you just hop out on the track whenever you want. All right. If you saw a lot, what Hayes Omega will do is I'll wait for a lot of people to get on the track and like, yeah, let's go play with these guys, type of thing. All right, because I don't like riding at the track by myself. It gets kind of boring after a while. Okay, guys, that's why you go to these events, right? So you can go ride with other folks, right? Okay. Anyway, so that's the scoop. So we went and practiced. The goal was to practice every battery, all right? So it was to do, to go out and do run group on each battery, okay? So and every run group, it was like 12 minutes. Usually I'll do 15-minute run groups, which is pretty long, but this track was really short, guys, okay? You're talking about sub 1 minute laps, all right? So like, yeah, no, well, yeah, our laps were like 35 seconds, all right? yeah, that's how short the track is, guys. It's super short. It's super short, but it's still fun. It's not gonna lie. Yeah, you're doing like 30-something second laps, man. That's how fast we were, how small the track is, type of thing. Okay, but so I opted to go for 12 minutes every time, every session. All right, and pretty much every time I went out, I had half a charge. The first time I went out, I was just kind of getting my feet wet, type of thing. I think we used, I can't remember what battery we used. I used one of these smaller batteries in the beginning of the day, and they handle 12 minutes just fine. You're talking 12 minutes and 30-second laps. You know, you're close. You're doing close to like 20 laps. Yeah, you're literally doing close to 20 laps for each for like a 12-minute session out there. All right, and yeah, there's lots of people to play with. It was fun. check out the practice videos. All right, guys. I'm not gonna talk too much about the practice, but like the bike handled it fine. All right. The goal was to test everything out, and at 15 kilowatts, these batteries were okay. And we did 30 kilowatts on the Qi battery. Okay, pretty good stuff. That's what I want to say. All right. And then my goal was to get out on the track twice on the Redshift. I think I wound up going out. I wound up going three times on the Redshift. Also, I let my buddy Errol, he was our team captain for the 24-hour race. I finally let him have a spin on the Redshift. All right. I felt that like, oh yeah, the suspension is good enough now where I could, you know, I think he would enjoy it, type of thing. And he liked it. Make sure you check out the video of him riding it. All right. I've never seen anybody else ride my bike on the track before, and yeah, it was kind of cool. And I was pretty amazed how fast it was, like on the straight type of thing. Yeah, I'm always amazed how fast this thing is, man. The problem is just it's too heavy for this track, man. So that's a scoop. The Redshift did okay. I did think I overheated it. I overheated it the second time I took it out, I think. After 12 minutes, yeah, it seems that its endurance was about 12 minutes. It's about 10-12 minutes or something on that track. All right, yeah, because you're wide open like a lot on this track, man. It's one of those tracks where you're leaned over all the time, but you know you're on it. You know, it's very flowy kind of track. Okay. Okay, so that was the end of practice day, and then race day comes along. All right, so the plan is to I charged this one to the max. All right, and actually a nice thing about the Stockton kart track is that they had running water, all right, and they had bathrooms, and they don't normally open it unless it's a big event, as from what I heard. But they also have power at the track. There's power in the bathroom, and there's power near the little where the start-finish line is. Yeah, there's like an outlet there, and it actually worked. They also had a shore power outlet, so I probably could have plugged my RAV4 in and charged it over there too, but I was kind of locked in where I was in the pits. All right, the pits is it's a pretty big lot. There's like dirt patches and asphalt patches. I wish they would have just asphalt the whole thing, man. But yeah, I don't like pitting on that dirty stuff. But there's plenty of room to pit. Okay, guys, type of thing. So I wound up charging this guy to the max in the bathroom. Okay. And then I wound up charging the smaller battery to like 90%, I believe. And then we charged this one to about 90%. Okay, so that's the goal. I charged this one to the max because we're going to use it only for practice. All right, so I found out the next day that it's going to be a practice there's going to be practice in the morning, then qualifying, and then heats, or they call it a sprint race, but you know, in Supermoto we call it a heat race, and then you've got your main event. Okay, very similar to Supermoto, is what I want to say. But what a lot of racing organizations do is they combine Sometimes they don't even do qualifying, guys. But in this case, we did do qualifying. We did have a transponder. I had to rent one for 25 bucks, and I stuff it in my boot. All right, so because I had two different bikes anyways. And that's a good way to not lose it, okay? Because if you stuff it in, sometimes it's a little uncomfortable. All right, I didn't really notice it all that much. Plus, I was using some boots that I've never, ridden with before, and it was all right. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, you've got the transponder. Anyway, so yeah, they were using the MyLapse transponder system. All right, Hayes Mega, not really a big fan of that, but that's what a lot of racetracks use. I like the one with the sticker, the one that you put on the front of your helmet or on your bike or something. Yeah, I prefer that. Because they're cheaper, especially they're cheaper if you lose one. If you lose one, it's not a big deal, all right. But if you lost a MyLapse transponder, it's not cheap. Okay, but you could also bring your own. Maybe Hayes Mega will invest in one. I've done enough racing where they do use those transponders often, type of thing, or it's usually just for like road racing stuff. Yeah, and speaking of road racing stuff, yeah, like I mentioned, it's all asphalt, guys. All right, there's no dirt section. So I thought, oh yeah, I'll be a piece of cake. You know what? I gotta get. I'm gonna do 3 races, guys. So that was a scoop. I did 3 races. Normally I'll only do 2 races a day. And Hayes Mega doesn't want to spend more than $200 during the weekend. All right, so I barely made my goal. All right, so Hayes Mega signed up for 65 GP. All right, so that's bikes. I'm not sure. I can't remember what the 65 GP. I'll put a subtitle below. But anyway, they're the 65cc, you know, water cooled bikes. Those little fast little 2-stroke guys, and I think it's 4-stroke air-cooled bikes up to 160cc. All right, because it's air-cooled, it kicks those annoying 150Rs out of the race. So that's why I like to race that one. Okay, and it's not really cheating with this bike. This bike is pretty light. You could put it up there with like a 140 or something. But the 65s with the right rider, guys, is super fast, and you'll see that you'll see that in the race video, man. Well, he's gonna get his ass whooped by these 65s. Okay. Yeah. So that's the scoop. So we're gonna do 65 GP, and then we're gonna race open amateur on this guy, like I mentioned, and then I signed up for Super Mini. All right, Super Mini is the open. So this one was open amateur, and this Super Mini is basically a open mini class. Okay, I think it's up to 230 air cooled, and I forget. You can have like a water cooled bike up to like 190 or something. Fast bikes, the fastest mini bikes. That's why they call it Super Mini, guys. Okay. And then that came out to about $170, guys. And then with the practice that I paid with the day before, it was like 200 right on the money, pretty much. So Hayes Mega was just at the limit, all right, type of thing. All right, racing's expensive, guys. And yeah, like I mentioned, I had to rent a transponder for $25. So yeah, that went up about $200 for a race weekend, man. For like a one day of racing only. It's nuts, right? And I think it was like $70 for the first race, and then $35 for the next races. So at least I know I like that they have that discount there, so you can it encourages you to race more than one race type of thing. All right, but like I said, really I could only race this in 2 races, and I could really only race this in 2 races, so it didn't really matter. The only race that I didn't do that I could have done is the vet race. Okay, guys. The old timers race. Okay, so the idea was we were going to do practice, all right, with this, and then I found out they have practice and qualifying. I said I just skipped the practice. I've spent the whole day on Saturday practicing. I don't need practice. Okay, so we went out with this guy on the light bee, and we put in some lap times. All right, guys, it took quite a while for everything to get started. Yeah, the registration took a long time, man. And then they get the qualifying up. So the deal is you get 5 minutes, all right? You get 5 minutes to go as fast as you can and put in your time, all right? And your fastest time is your qualifying time, all right? And I have those times. Okay, yeah, so I'll put a subtitle below, but so these are all my qualifying times. And, okay, also another thing Hayes wants to mention is that I have back-to-back races, all right? I have 3 races in a row, all right? So Hayes Mega's stamina is put to the test, all right? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, some of the kids, other racers, some of them do more than 4, you know? It's insane. Like, people got a lot of energy. I would be exhausted after each set of races, okay? So you just think about it. I gotta hop on the light bee, and then I gotta get off, and then I gotta hop on the red shift, and then I gotta hop on the light bee. So that's how it was, all right? I had so 65 GP was first. Yeah, so I was race 6, 7, and 8. Okay, guys, 6, 7, and 8. All right, 65 GP on the light bee, and then open amateur on the red shift, and then Super Mini on the light bee. So it's like I get on the light bee, I get on the red shift, and I get on the light bee again. All right, so that's how it's gonna work for the whole day of racing. Okay, guys. So the goal was to use this battery for the qualifying, all right? We were going to use it for the 65 GP qualifying and the Super Mini qualifying, all right? And I had this juiced up all the way. I charged it all the way because this is the bad battery. This is the battery that has the weak cell in it. So I said, let's just use it for practice, all right? And then you would take the red shift out, all right? And then what is this at right now after that? 75, a little more than half, about 60% charge, okay? the battery did great, all right? And so these are my qualifying times, guys. If you're curious, I was second, okay? I was second in 65 GP, second fastest time, all right? So that's where I got the grid second. My best time was 36.258, all right? And then the fastest was Jordan Tsai on his 65. His best time was 34 seconds .086. All right, he's literally 2.1 seconds, 2.172 seconds faster than you guys. So give yourself a pat in the back, Hayes Omega. You were faster than the rest of the. Out of the 7 riders, you were the second fastest. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say. All right, and I think everybody. Oh yeah. So these are the bikes that were racing in the 65 class. I think there was three or four 65s, and then Andrew Berner had a Kaio, and then Dean Rabidou had an XR100. All right, and it's kind of sad. They had to have Dean detune his bike, so his XR100 pretty much had like a stock spec engine. Okay, so he wasn't riding the fastest bike he could ride. They severely limited him, okay, type of thing. All right, but he was. I think he was racing in the Moto America races, so he needed to do that. He needed like a stock bike to do it. Okay, so that gave me an advantage over Dean. Usually Dean is faster than me. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Dean is fast. He's lighter than me, and he's a hell of a rider. Okay, so he races a lot more than me too. Okay, so I got second in 65 GP. All right, and here's the funny thing. I kept on losing places throughout the qualifying. So you know how I'm like on the top tier on the 65 GP? Well, I'm mid tier with the Redshift and the Open Amateur. Okay, in Open Amateur I got 5th. All right, 5th out of 7. All right, and my best time was 36.322. All right, and I was about 2 seconds behind Desjardins, man. But those are all the bikes that had like those are the 450s. All right, so remember it's an open class, so there was 450s, 250s. Yeah, it was basically just 450s and 250s racing against each other, type of thing. Okay, Dean was on a 250. The fast guys to worry about was Errol Smith, Mia Wright, and Dean Rabidou. So Dean was on a 250, but he's fast on that 250, man. And then there was Harley and Tim Bricks. All right, Harley is on a 250. I've raced him before. And then there's David Desjardins. All right, we raced him in Reading also. All right, he has a KX 450. So yeah, that's the scoop. Okay, but the good thing about Stockton is it favors the smaller bikes, type of thing. You need it's better to have a better horsepower to weight ratio, type of thing. Okay. And with the emphasis on lightweight. Okay, okay, and Super Mini, Hayes Omega got the slowest time. All right, I don't know, maybe the battery was like not as fast in the last thing. All right, but remember, I've gotten off this bike, and I've gotten on this bike, and we're hopping back on this bike again. All right, I got last, guys. I got 9th out of 9th. All right, out of 9 riders. All right, guys, that's pretty bad. We had a 37.140 where everybody had 36s. So everybody, it's going to be a tough race for the Super Mini race, guys. Okay, but remember, we're only running 50. Yeah, we only ran 15 kilowatts for the qualifying. In my opinion, okay, so here's already one of the improves. I feel like the qualifying was important enough because the qualifying was really important because. In this race, you went in your qualifying position all the time, right? So there was 2 races. The sprint race counts as points, all right, and the main race counts as points, all right. So it's basically there's 2 separate races. Like just say there's a race 1 and a race 2. So 65 GP 1, 65 GP race 2, right? And you always line up in the same position, all right. Usually in Supermoto you have a heat and a main, and sometimes you have a practice qualifying, right? So you'll do the practice qualifying, and then whoever's the fastest, they grid them up, type of thing, okay? And then the position that you win, the position that you're in the heat race is your grid position for the main race. In this race, okay, the qualifying is your position in race 1 and race 2 all the time. So it's in your best interest to do as good as you can the qualifying races, okay? So what Hayes Omega probably should have done, all right, here's already an improve, okay? For the qualifying, I should have used the Qi battery for the qualifying, and I should have used it at 30 kilowatts, all right, to get my best time, okay? To get the bestest of times type of thing, all right? And then that will give us a greater position to win in the 2 races, all right? Because sometimes when you start in the back, man, it's a lot of work to get to the front. You better be a badass rider, you know, because to make up that, to get from the back to the front. Fortunately, the Light Bee and the Redshift are freaking whole shot monsters, all right? And you'll find that out in the races, okay? Okay, anyway, I got last, 37.140. The next person in front of me was Eric Hansen. He was the guy I pit next to, okay? I've known Eric for a while. He's a cool guy. He got a 36.609, so he was less than a second faster than me, okay? Okay, and it just goes up from there. The Super Mini class was a mix of 150Rs. Yeah, those freaking pesky 150Rs. There had been like 4 of them. And then the rest of them were like ovales, I think. And Dean was there too. Yeah, Dean was on the XR100 again. And he's severely outclassed in this race, all right? But I'm not going to lie, I've seen Dean beat 150Rs with his XR100, but like I said, he had a stock motor, so he was at a disadvantage type of thing, okay? Which is good for us, okay? The fastest, guys, was Mark Jr., all right? I know Mark. I've raced Mark before in the 65 GP, all right? And this is my first time racing Mark in the Super Mini class, all right? Normally, yeah, Mark races 65 and he's just Bucci, all right? And he's fast on the Bucci. His best time was a 33.672. Woo, crikeys, man. He's he's like 4 seconds faster than me, guys. Just about 4 seconds. Holy moly, yeah. That's gonna be a tough customer right there, man. So the I believe after the qualifying they had lunch. It was already noon already, man. This is like the slowest race day ever, man, type of thing. Yeah, so we had lunch and then we went back into racing, all right? So we did this, what they call the sprint race, all right, or a heat race. And so also the races were a lot more laps than, they're 2 extra laps than we're normally racing, all right? So normally we'll do 6 heat laps and then 8 for the main race, all right? 8 laps for the main race, all right? So that's a scoop. We do 2 extra laps. So instead we did 8 laps for the sprint and we did 10 laps for the main, all right? So it's 2 laps more, but remember the laps are only like 30 seconds each. Like it's 34 seconds for like the fastest riders, right? So yeah, you can bang out a lot of laps real fast, okay, guys? All right, so we raced 65 GP. We've got the little battery in there, all right? For the sprint race, my goal was to use the little battery, all right? This guy is in good health, and it could handle it, all right? I don't know how much charge it has in it right now. I think it's got about half, so. And this little guy did great, all right, type of thing. We raced 65 GP. Yeah, I was in second. I remember. For every time we started, remember, I was in second position. So so Jordan was to my left, to the fastest guy, Jordan's side, and then me, I was to his right, behind him a little bit. Okay, so and so I call it, man. Every race, we would start, and I would blow everybody away in the beginning. I would make it into the first corner, and then Jordan would like swoop around me on the outside. On the outside I would get past, all right? That's the ultimate disgrace, right? To get passed on the outside, but he did it. He passed me on the outside going around the first corner already. And then it was just me trying to chase Jordan down, right? At 15 kilowatts. Right. Okay, and it was tough, and but I was able to maintain that position behind him for the whole race, and I came in second place. All right. Anyway, I got second place in that race, guys. All right, I came in right behind Jordan. That's what I had thought. All right, Jordan's really fast, man. I've raced Jordan and Mark on 65s, and they whoop me. Okay. Yeah, those guys are just in another league. Okay, type of thing. So that's a scoop. I came in second behind Jordan, and I think Dean was right behind me. I'm not 100% on the XR 100. I don't think I got the results for that one, but I know I came in second. All right, guys. And then it was time to go hop on the redshift. Oh yeah. So I had messed up on the sprint race. I had messed up. I put the tire warmers on my bike, but I didn't press the button to start the power strip. I had it hooked up to a power strip, and I didn't turn the power on. And then when I went to go turn the power off, it was already off, and I was like, "Oh no! I forgot to turn my tire warmers on." Right? So there's already an improved. Hey, Mega, make sure your power strip is on. Make sure your tire warmers are hot, man. So they weren't. All right. I had the tire warmers on there, but I didn't have them on. All right. I'm sure it probably helped a little bit to have the warmers on there, but yeah. So also there's another disadvantage doing this back-to-back race, is that I take the warmers off of the light B in the first race, and then I hop on this bike. So and then about 10 minutes later, we got to go hop back on this bike, and I don't have enough time to put the warmers back on. I wish I had a pit crew to do that. Yeah. So it would help if I had a pit crew to put this thing back on the warmers while I'm out there racing this. Then I would go back and then just take the warmers back off, and that way the tires are hot all the time. So the tires would cool down after the first race, and then I would hop on this. It would cool down, and I'd have cold tires for the super mini race. Okay. Well, it didn't matter this time, guys, because I forgot to turn the warmers on. Okay. So I just had to roll with what it was. I tried to warm the tires up for like that half a lap you get for the parade lap, yeah, and then or a sighting lap, and then we lined up for the 65 GP. I already talked about that. So anyway, we're doing the open amateur race. Hayes Mega gridded 5th, right in the middle of the pack, and I did really good on the launch again. Like I said, this thing's a whole shot monster, man. I think I was around like 3rd place or something. I made it to 3rd place, I think, and then yeah, I was behind the fastest 450s. I was behind Errol. Yeah, I was behind Errol, Mia, and Dean. All right, Dean's a monster on that 250. And then I was behind. I was in the 4th place position for quite a while, and then Desjardins passed me on the KX 450. All right, so that's a scoop. I don't know, he beat me by 5 seconds, alright guys, in that race. Yeah, he was quite ahead of me, type of thing, on that 450. It's hard to match a 450 with this bike, guys. This bike is fast, but it's not that fast, that type of thing, alright? That's my excuse anyways. And then so Harley Aguilera was behind us in the KX 250, and then there was Tim Bricks. I think there was a WR 450 or is it 250? I'm not sure what kind of bike it was, but yeah, he came up 7th. Okay, so that was that race, and then the super mini race. Okay, and then so now we've got the super mini race. All right, so we finished our 2nd race on the redshift. Like I said, I finished 5th. Yeah, pretty much the same as the qualifying. Yeah, I got 5th, so I qualified 5th and I finished 5th. Alright guys? Okay, so it's a sprint race for the super mini race, and I'm starting dead last, guys. Yeah, I'm literally like all the way in the back, man. So they're like, yeah, all the way in the back. I line up on the 10, and then apparently Eric is lining up on the 10 mark. I was like, oh, okay, well, so I'm so far. Here's how far in the back I am, guys, because of my poor qualifying time. I was so far back. There's not even a number or like a grid mark. All right, I have to like literally line up with Eric's back tire. That's the scoop, guys. Okay, so that's what I did, and so it's like a 1-2 grid. All right, it's not a 1-2-3. It's 1-2 1-2. All right, so there's 2 columns. All right, there's 2 formations. All right, there's a left and a right. You're either on the left or the right. I prefer to be on the left, by the way, guys. I would rather be on the outside of the corner going in. But anyway, so I'm looking at it, and everybody's lined up like straight, and the box is like, it's huge. The box is like this, all right? Like you can be like anywhere in the. I think they wanted your wheel on the number, but I'm like, oh, okay. I had an excuse for that. There was no number and there was no little bracket thing, all right, to put my bike behind. I just kind of had to guess, all right. There was like a faded one on the ground, all right. So I remember I said that's how far back I was. So I'm looking down the line like, everybody's lined up back to back. Like, why don't I just stack? Why don't I just move to the left a little bit so I'm farther outside? And so like all I have to do is twist the throttle and go forward, all right. So that's what I did. The green flag goes up. And we take off, and boom! I'm like a rocket, or the freaking Light Bee's a rocket. I make up like the whole pack all the way to like, I don't know. I must have been. I think I made it to third place. Yeah, I think I made it all the way to the back to third place. All right, and remember, Super Mini is like the biggest class, guys. It's no joke, dude. There's a lot of racers in Super Mini. Alright, yeah, there was 10 racers in Super Mini. So I made up that 10th place to like third place in like a second or two. Okay? And then so we were going into the corner, and then so that was it. Alright, pretty much we're racing. I think I might have made it to second place for a little bit. There's no way I can catch Mark. I know Mark is like super fast. There's no way I caught him. And then the 150Rs just started picking me off one by one, type of thing. All right. And by the end of the race, I was in the 5th place position. Okay. I was right behind Mason Dunn on the Ovale. All right. He had a Ovale GP 190. Pretty fast bike. It didn't run very well though. I'll tell you that. It sounded awful, guys. But anyway, Mark Jr. got 1st place. Johnny Weaver got 2nd place. He was on a 150R, and then Tom. Yeah, so me and Tom were racing for a little while, and then Tom got in front of me, and then Mason got in front of me with the Ovale, and then yeah, so that was that. I came in 5th place in that race too. So we've got a 2, 5, and a 5. All right. So the GP, it looks like it's looking pretty good for me to get a trophy. Okay. And then immediately we go into the main races, all right? Because we already had our lunch already. We don't get a break. Usually the break is after the sprint races, guys, right? So here's where the real drama starts, all right, guys? So yeah, this battery did spectacular. It did great. I think it would have half a charge. I will talk about problems I had with the controls, all right? I'm still getting this control sorted out. I had all sorts of problems at Virginia City Grand Prix with these controls, and I'm still working on it, man, guys. But I'll talk about that at the end, after the end of the racing, okay? So, 65 GP rolls around again, all right? It's probably maybe another hour, yeah, probably another hour until we came. So I got an hour to take a break, you know? And then, so we're racing again, and it's the same thing. I'm gridded right next to Jordan, and boom, green flag goes up, and it's the same story as last time. I destroy everybody off the line. Yeah, coming into the first corner, Jordan, like, he comes off, he passes me on the outside again, and I'm behind him, and I'm chasing him. But this time, Hayes Mega has 30 kilowatts of power, guys. Remember, for the last race, Hayes Mega's plan was to use the Qi battery, alright? So, the goal was to use the Qi battery and put it at 30 kilowatts to see if it could handle it, alright? And boy, could it handle it, alright? It was fast. At 30 kilowatts, it's a freaking monster. Right? I did practice at 30 kilowatts the other day too. So yeah, so that's a scoop, and I'm actually able to keep pace with Jordan because of this extra power. I'm actually able to pull on him in certain sections. All right, because I had more power. All right, and it was pretty incredible. I think about 2 or 3 laps, I was pretty close to Jordan, and then he started pulling away a little bit. Maybe I was getting tired, or I was messing up or something, alright? I'm not going to lie, there was a couple sections of the track where... So, this bike doesn't slow down fast enough, guys. This bike is fast, but it doesn't slow down fast enough, guys. It is terrifying riding this thing with 30 kilowatts. I'm not going to lie, man. It doesn't slow down fast enough. Alright? Even with the regen and the front brake, not enough. I have to brake extra early, okay? And that's what's killing my times, it's messing me up big time. All right, it's messing me up big time switching between these two bikes because these bikes are the opposite. All right, this one is super light, it's super fast, but it brakes super bad. All right, the brakes are awful on it. This bike is super fast, but it's heavy. but it has very good brakes. It's kind of like counterintuitive type of thing. But anyway, it messes me up because I can brake a lot later on this guy than I can on this guy. All right, this one, if I brake too late, I'm got off into the weeds type of thing. Okay, guys. But anyway, so this is where the drama starts. Yeah, dude, there's a lot. There was so much drama in this race, in the GP65 race. Jordan, I believe on the third lap or something, Jordan goes down in front of me. Like, well, he was a pretty good a ways ahead of me, and then I saw him. He was like on the ground. I was like, oh, Jordan went down. This is my chance, and I go. So I'm riding as hard as I can to keep all these guys behind me. I don't think anybody could keep up with me. I think Dean was right. Yeah, Dean was behind me. That was the scoop. Dean was right behind me. I could hear him, and he would get close, but then I would just pull away. And I talked to Dean after the race, and he was like, yeah, man, your bike was so fast. I could not keep up with it, man. It's like, yeah, it was like unfair type of thing. But anyway, so I passed Jordan, and then Dean is probably back there somewhere trying to hunt me down still. But then, and then so I was able to lead the race for like 2 or 3 laps, and then Jordan passed Dean again, I guess, and then he passed me, and then I was behind him, and then I think about the 6th or 7th lap, I'm going around the first corner 1 or 2, and I feel the back, like I'm braking, and I feel the back wiggling a lot. Like, oh, something's not right. I go around the corner, and I feel like I got a rear flat tire, and sure enough, I did. And the bike, the bike didn't really want to accelerate anymore. I've still got like 2 laps to go to finish the race. I think we were like around like lap 8 or something. And I was like, oh, damn it, game over. That's it, guys. Flat tire and 2 laps to go. There's no way you're going to finish the race or even make it up, Marlon. So I just pulled off right there. I knew game over. And I told him, hey, I can't race anymore. My tire is flat. and yeah, so that was it for the Light Beast. So disappointing, guys. The 30 kilowatts of glory, man. 30 kilowatts was a weapon out there, man. Like I saw that I was able to keep up with Jordan for quite a while, and you know how fast he's 2 seconds faster than me, right? I was able to keep pace with him with the 30 kilowatts type of thing, all right? Like I said, it's terrifying riding it with 30 kilowatts though. Good thing the brakes didn't fail on me, but my rear tire failed on me. I don't know what happened to it. It's flat, guys. Okay. there's no air in it. And so this really puts me in a disadvantage because I got no bike for my Super Mini race, all right? It crapped out on the 65 GP main, and I still needed to race it in the Super Mini race. So I was kind of bummed. I was like, what am I going to race in the Super Mini race now? I got a flat tire, and plus I have to hop on the red shift for the next race. So we're racing the red shift main race, all right? So here's what happens, guys. All right, I remember this one. This is a race I'll never forget. So we're gridded in the middle again, right? We're 5th place for the qualifying, right? And we also finished 5th place in the sprint. Well, we take off, boom, and then I'm looking at the corner in the camera. It's like the corner of the camera's eye, right? And I see Mia on the FS 450. She endos the bike. It goes up to 45 degrees for like a second, like up, and then it just goes down. And it slams down real hard. And so what they told me, what Dina told me, or what Mia had told me, I think, was that Dean shut the door on Mia, I guess, Dean shut the door on Mia from the outside, and she braked so hard that she endoed, and then I think that they took each other out or something. That's what it looked like, because I saw Dean go straight, and then Mia was like kind of parallel to him, and then everyone I saw the opportunity and I swooped in, and there was all this drama going on where all that was happening. I was on the left, going for the kill, and I passed everybody, and it was just me and I was right behind Errol, all right. So I'm chasing Errol down on the red shift, all right, as good as I can, and I know, like, oh, they're back there. See you guys. So because of that crazy start with Mia's crazy endo display there, I I was able to get into second place, all right, from the middle position. And so I chased Errol. Errol's on an FS 450. I know how fast that bike is, and Errol's a pretty fast rider. And I was able to hang with Errol for about 3 laps. Yeah, I was on Errol's tail for about 3 laps, and then he just kind of pulled away. I got no excuse, guys, but I can't keep up with the FS 450. That's my excuse, all right? 450 is a tough customer, is what I'm gonna say, guys. All right, and maybe I made some mistakes along the way. I remember, one thing I remember is like the more we got through the race, it felt like the more slippery the track was. Like the back would slip out a lot, and I had to wrestle the bike to keep it upright, type of thing. All right, but I was behind Errol the whole time, so I finished second place, guys. Haha, and that's what this trophy is right here, guys. Okay, this is the red chip actually took home a trophy. I was not expecting it because we actually did pretty bad in the sprint race. We got 5th place, but we came in second, right behind Errol. All right, I couldn't catch up to Errol, man. I couldn't keep up with him, but I was able to maintain that second place position. Who was right behind me was Desjardins, the guy on the KX 450. And we beat him. All right. He said if he had another lap, he probably could have passed us. I'm like, well, I know around the corners I'm faster than him in certain places, but yeah, it's a 450, guys, and a 450 is a tough customer, man. Like you can literally, it's a point and shoot type of thing. Once you got the bike pointed in the right direction, you just and it'll just go, type of thing. All right. But anyway, the red shift took home a second place trophy. So. In that open amateur, and it was thanks to that problem between Mia and Dean, because this Dean probably would have been Errol, Mia, and Dean. All right, some order like that for the main race, but because of what happened at the start, I got second place. Haha! Alright, so I got a second place trophy unexpectedly. These open amateur races, it's kind of a crapshoot, man. And hey, that's racing, guys. Alright, and just like I got a flat tire in the GP race, and I was supposed to get a freaking, I was on my way to getting a second place trophy in that race as well, and then the tire got flat on me, and I went from second to last, guys. So that's racing, okay? Alright, so Super Mini race comes along, and it's like, well, what am I gonna do? I got a flat tire. Well, I'm already on the red shift. Just race on the red shift. So I tell the referee, all right, Cherie, that hey, I'm just gonna race on this bike. I got the flat tire. It's either I sit the race out or I race on this bike, all right. And so they let me go out there on the bike, but I got DQ'd. Okay, basically I'm racing a bike that we're not supposed to be racing in this race, but I gotta get my money's worth, right, guys? so that's the scoop. And so I line up, and remember, I lined up last, guys. All right. And oh yeah, okay. So in the open amateur race, I'd actually overheated the bike on, I think, the last lap or two. The bike had already overheated. All right, the little exclamation mark came up, and that means that's the battery pack is overheated, type of thing. Okay, this bike is just too much power to race with these batteries, type of thing. Okay, it's just pulling too much power out of this teeny little battery, type of thing. Anyway. So I line up at the back, all right, and like I mentioned, well, by the time the Super Mini race started, the bike had cooled off. Okay, the exclamation mark went away, and I had full power again, but not for very long. Okay, remember, you're doing a back-to-back 10-lap race with the red chip, man. Of course, it's gonna overheat, man. So yeah, I lined up in the back again, and I told myself, yeah, just. Like I said, I don't have a box, so I just I just moved to the side, offset a little bit, so I can just go straight ahead, type of thing. And then the green flag goes up, and boom, I take off. I pass everybody. I think I was in. No, I don't think I. Yeah, I think I was second. Yeah, I made it to second place, all the way from the back to second place. Incredible, guys. And then. But I think coming into the first turn, Mark was in the front, right, on the Bucci, and then I think what was his name? Oh yeah, Johnny Weaver. All right, so there was a Johnny Weaver on the 150R. I think he snuck in front of me as we were at the beginning of the race. All right, because I think he was already like in the front somewhere. But yeah, so then it was me chasing Mark and then Johnny. So I was in third place for a while. All right, and I think I'm chasing them for like 3 laps. It's pretty cool. I'm watching them race in front of me. You know, that's the best spot on the track to watch some racing in the race. And then so I think on the 3rd or 4th lap, my back slips out going around the corner before the long straight, and Tom takes that opportunity to pass me. All right, so Tom Lynn on the 150R, and I'm behind them, and I'm watching all 3 of them. All right, and so and then somewhere, I think another lap. I think maybe on that lap or the next lap, so we're around like lap 5, somewhere around there. Mason Dunn passes me on the Ovale. All right, yeah, I'm having trouble getting the bike to turn around the corner, the sweeper corner where the entrance of the track is, and then Mark Dunn is able to swoop inside with the with this Ovale. And then he passes me. I think he did the same exact thing to me in another race. Yeah, in the previous race, I think he did the same thing too. He swooped in on the inside, and that's how you do it, man. And then he has a tank slapper in front of me. I saw his bike do this, like this, and the bike just gets all crazy and so I back off a little bit. I was like, oh, I hope he doesn't eat it in front of me. I don't want to run this guy over. All right, I don't want to collide with this guy, and I back off a little bit. But he's able to regain the control of the bike. I think it probably swaps back and forth like 2 or 3 times, and then he's back off again. Okay, whew, okay, and then I'm chasing 4 bikes now in front of me. All right, so I think what happened at the end is I think Tom was able to pass Johnny, and then Mason was able to pass Johnny, the Ovale. So that's what happened, and so for a while I was in the 5th place position again. Yeah, I was in the 5th place position again, type of thing, because that's what the position we were in with the Light Bee. Also, that's when we finished it the last time. And so what happens? Oh, okay. So yeah, so I think around on the last lap, like on lap 9, I think Mac Hong was behind me. He's on a 150R with these clip-on thingies. It's got like 12s and stuff. It's a 150R set up to ride like a road racer bike, and he's behind me and he's trying to pass me, and he's getting frustrated. He's getting frustrated because I have a super powerful bike, you know. Okay, but also by the end of the race, the Redshift had like half the power. All right, the bike had already overheated after like the first lap, and it was just getting slower and slower, and so that's why the other bikes were passing me more and more and more. Okay, so that's how I made it all the way back. I went from 2nd to like 5th place, right? And then I think Mac was behind me for about like 3 or 4 laps, and he was trying to get around me, and he couldn't get around me because he said I was too fast. That's no excuse, man. I was just faster than him, man. And he couldn't get around me, and he got frustrated, and he ran me off the track. All right, kind of where that Ovale passed me last time. So he ran me off of the track is what happened. So he swooped on the inside, and he started going wider. He started pushing me off of the track. Like, he rubbed up on me, all right? If you look in the video, it looks like he's trying to, like, intentionally hit me, like, side check me, all right? Like he's rubbing on me, like, there's no reason to do that. I was holding my line, he swoops inside, and then he pushes me out. Like, I could feel him rubbing up on my leg, all right? And I'm like, and then I'm looking, I'm like, hey, we're running at a track, and he's pushing me to the outside into the grass, and it looks like he hits me like twice almost. Like he rubbed up on me, and then he's about to rub up on me again, and then and I'm looking at that. I'm like, hey, we're gonna hit the grass soon. I don't want to go out in the grass and like, you know, get taken out. I don't want to drop this bike, man. It's heavy. It would suck to drop it, you know. And obviously I'm gonna get hurt, you know. So So I back off. I let him. I back off a little bit, and I let him go. And because of his little stunt where he tried to run me off the track, Dean was able to swoop on the inside and he passed him. All right. With that, I dropped to 7th place. All right, but I did get disqualified. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, and then I talked to him at the end of the race. He said he told me like he misshifted or something, and that's why he nearly hit me. You know, like he rubbed up on me. He definitely rubbed up on me twice, and it looked like he was gonna swing out again and hit me again. All right, it looked intentional type of thing, and I think he was just frustrated, and he was gonna try to take me out, man. That's what it looked like to me. All right, he had already made contact with me. All right, but anyway, because he did that, he opened up the window for Dean, and Dean passed him. So he lost the position anyway. All right, because Dean was trying to get around Mac, and then he was able to finally get around Mac and me when he pulled his little stunt. All right, and so if you ask me, that's karma, guys. Like if you're gonna do some kind of dirty racing like that, you let the guy behind you pass, and it was all for nothing, guys. Because even if I had passed in front of him, I got DQ'd. They would have been bumped up to the next position anyway. So that's the way I see it, guys. All right, he got instant karma when he did that. All right, I'll video clip of it right now. Hit me like twice, okay, real quick. But yeah, he had to slow down a whole lot because of it, and he let Dean get in. All right, so good job, Dean. Type of thing. All right, anyway, and then so Eric Hansen was right behind me, and then Ryan Dunn was behind Eric. Joshua Rivera was 10th, and then Connor Lynn was last. Okay, those are the guys with like the slower bikes type of thing. Okay, but yeah, I was able to finish in front of Eric. I remember Eric told me, "Hey, yeah, you were still in front of me." And so I was like, "Well, it doesn't matter. You guys were everybody was in front of me." Okay, guys, I got DQ'd. So, I could have just sat and watched the race and not get my money's worth, but I could have just taken what other bike I had, the Red Shift, and attempted to have some fun in a race with mini bikes. Okay, so you guys get to see something normally that wouldn't happen. Would be to race a full-size electric Super Moto bike against mini Super Moto bikes. Okay, and I had a whole lot of fun. All right, I think I don't know, man. It seems like the longer the race went, the less grip I had on my tires, man. I was just kept on sliding and all over the place and stuff. This thing has fantastic brakes though. On those after the long straight, trying to slow the bike down, this bike slows down really good. I know I can go and brake really late and then pitch it in there, all right, and then that big front, like, it just claws its way through the turn somehow, and then sometimes the back will slide a little bit and you'd have to counter steer and stuff. Yeah, man, I have to ride this thing flat tracker style. So it's interesting, my technique by the end of the weekend, all right, that sweeper turn, I would flat track it, all right, I would keep my head out and stick my leg out, and then try to keep my elbow up as much as I can. I always forget to keep my elbows up, man. But yeah, most of the time I got it. I would do it with both bikes. I use the same techniques on both bikes, and then by the time we're like halfway through the sweeper turn, I transition to a knee out position, all right? And then so I start leaning in the other way. I felt for a track like this that's very flowy, I feel like a GP road racer style is better with your knee out. And I know very well that the Alta is very good at doing knee out, all right? This one, I'm not so good at it, but I did it on both, all right? And one thing I noted was that when I hop off of this bike and I get on this bike, I'm just blown away by how light it is, okay? This thing, it's light, you throw it around the corners. I think I think had I not gotten the flat tire and I did race this, I probably would have got the same position, maybe 5th or 4th. Maybe 3rd, all right? I will say maybe, all right? His is doing his fantasy racing here, okay, guys? If I had raced this bike instead of this bike, I think that's what would have happened. We probably would have came in somewhere from either 5th to like 3rd, all right? This thing is fast with 30 kilowatts, but it doesn't slow down fast enough, all right? So I mean, what could we do to fix that? Is we could get bigger brakes, okay? Bigger brake rotor for the front, all right? Type of thing, and yeah. But that's pretty much the limit of what we can do, man. Like I was braking so hard, the back would like skip around in the corner. It would be scary, all right, type of thing. It's terrifying riding this bike with this amount of power. Even 15 kilowatts, that's a lot of power still, all right. But at 30 kilowatts, it's straight scary, man, guys. This thing on the straight, it's crazy fast. On the launch, it's crazy fast. And when you pull out of the corner and you get on the throttle, it's crazy fast. Like the front will come up, you know, if you're not careful, type of thing, right? It is a lot of power. And I think what probably contributed to the back getting flat was maybe trying to run it at 30 kilowatts. For practice we ran it at 30 kilowatts for 12 minutes. So it was fine. So I don't know, somehow we got a flat tire. I've got to take the wheel off and then we'll take the tire out. We'll take a look at the tube. We'll see what happened to it. Maybe we got some kind of pinch flat or something, but yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was riding the balls off of this bike, all right, in the GP race, the 65 GP race. Okay, so it's a bummer that we missed out on the 2nd place trophy for 65 GP, but we did get a 2nd place trophy in Open Amateur. That's all I can say is that's racing. You know, if you don't try, you don't get a chance to win anything. And I tried, and an opportunity opened up, and I swooped in. Okay, I swooped in, and I got the 2nd place trophy in that race. All right, and then we raced the Redshift again because I couldn't race this one with the flat tire unless I want to race it on the front tire only. And we came in 7th. All right, but I had a whole lot of fun chasing those bikes down. The bike was seriously low on power by the end of the race, all right? Yeah, pretty much all the turns I rode knee out except for that long sweeper turn. I think turn 3 or something, where I transitioned from a flat track position to like the road racer to knee out position. And pretty much the rest of the time I just rode knee out. Until I got to the back section, that final turn that goes to the straight. Sometimes I would leg out that one. All right, I would leg out that one and the first turn 1 and turn 2 would be all leg out. Yeah, it would be leg out, transition to knee out, and knee out, and then with the leg out. And then once the bike gets straight, yeah, you just go down the long straight, and then it's back to leg out, knee out. Okay, so that was my recipe for the weekend. All right, it was a mix of a road racer style and a supermoto style, all right, a flat tracker style type of thing. And that's what works for me, guys. That's what I do. Okay, I mix it up. All right. So the thing is, I don't have knee pucks with this gear. All right, so. But I've never touched down. I never touch my knees down, so it's not a big deal. All right, I don't lean that much, guys. I don't lean that much with my knees out, type of thing. All right, but oh, it feels so comfortable to lean out on this bike. It feels really comfortable. Okay, I had a great time. I let Errol ride the bike. I got to see if somebody else ride my bike. We got 2nd place. We got 2nd place in the sprint race for 65 GP. It looked like we were gonna set second place we were gonna take the 2nd place trophy for 65 GP, but I got the flat tire and I got to race this in the super mini race and kick some ass on it. For about half the race, I did really good, and then, yeah, I just feel like the track got more slipperier, and maybe we need better tires. Maybe I could go down on tire pressure also, so it might be better. Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, with what we got, I wonder how my tires are doing. Man, the tires look, well, they look okay. And yeah, so that's a scoop, guys. For the Super Mini, it's kind of debatable whether I would have won anything in that one. All right, like I said, I got last place in the qualifying, and then I got 5th when the race ended. I think had we raced this, like I mentioned, we raced this bike in the Super Mini main, probably we'd have got anywhere from 5th to like about 3rd. All right, type of thing. Those 150Rs are hard to keep up to, man. I'm telling you. But with that 30 kilowatts, it makes it a little easier. It makes it harder to slow down too, though. So whenever you throw more power into the equation, it makes it harder to ride. All right, guys. It made the Lightbee really hard to ride, to be able to wrestle that kind of power. And like, yeah, the back would step out more and stuff. You know, you would break traction more often. Because it's just got so much power. At 800, it had 800 phase amps on tap, guys. That's the torque, man. Just the sheer amount of torque, you know. Yeah, we're gonna have to check these wheels out. So Hayes Mega is, I'm not gonna lie, Hayes Mega just ordered a new Warp 9 wheel. Okay, I ordered a Warp 9 rear wheel for this bike. They're gonna build it and they're gonna send it to me, and that's what we're gonna use for Supermoto races from now on. I had a problem with this wheel in the last race, in the Reading race, where the spokes would loosen up when we raced it really hard in the dirt. All right, so I'm hoping because I have a stronger wheel that won't happen. All right, because that doesn't happen to my dirt wheel. My dirt wheel is an aftermarket wheel, and it has thicker spokes than a normal thing. All right, so it's gonna have a stronger hub and stronger spokes, stronger nipples. Probably the wheel's about the same. This is an XL wheel. But everything else is stock on it. The stock Sauron spokes and hub are not very strong, guys. So there's better stuff out there, and I don't have any problem with the front, except for the braking. What we could do in the future is upgrade the front brake. All right, Hayes Mega has been wanting to do it for a couple of years now. I think when Warp 9 has another sale, I'll go order 3 rotors, because I have to buy 3 rotors, guys, because I have 3 sets of wheels. So that way I could just swap the wheels out easily, all right? And then that way we'll have better braking power. I only need better brakes for Supermoto. For dirt biking or just street riding, I don't need the better brakes. I just use the regen, right? But the regen's still not enough. Even with this powerful regen, it's still not enough to slow the bike down, all right, guys? How did the Qi battery do? The Qi battery did excellent, all right, guys. For practice, it was okay, all right. It never overheated. Yeah, I couldn't overheat this battery at all. I think the most I got it to was around 50 C, all right, and that's like warm, all right. Around like 65 C, it's gonna start shutting off soon, all right. But no, this battery could handle the punishment, man. I'm telling you. It looked like it was fine in that race, and had we raced it again, it would have been fine in the next race as well. Okay, so it's proven that this thing can handle 30 kilowatts for Supermoto, so I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep it at, and then when we get the Warp 9 rear wheel, it'll be able to handle that extra power. Maybe we got a flat tire because we were running that 30 kilowatts, but I ran 30 kilowatts the day before, guys, and it was okay. So I don't know what to say, guys. It's just bad luck that we got a flat tire, all right? Perhaps in another video, I will go I'm definitely going to have to pull the wheel off soon, because we're going to do a dirt bike race on the Lightbee. So when I get that wheel off, we'll check out and see what happened to it. We'll go get, I think we'll just have to replace a tube is what we're going to do. But I'll check the wheel out, see if anything's up with it. Yeah, all I remember is when I run around the corner. Well, yeah, when I went to brake, I felt the bike vibrating a lot in the back. You could feel it. My butt was vibrating a lot. You know, I go to turn around again, and it did it again, and I could feel like the bike is really slowing down. And yeah, that's a bummer, man. I think that's the first time I've ever got a flat tire in a race. My KLX, I got a front flat on it but it was like after the race. I didn't notice it was flat until after the race. So this is the first time I've ever gotten a flat in a race, guys. Usually it's a chain problem, you know, and the chain hung in there just fine, right? I had no problems with the chain, no problems with the primary drive. I have to keep them lubed is what I'm gonna say, but both of these bikes ran spectacularly, okay? Definitely the Alta was overheating a whole lot, because you're on the throttle a lot on this track, you know. it's a very flowy track, and then when it's like that, or you're hitting high speeds, you know. But the light bead can handle it. All the components of the light bead can handle it. Actually, after the sprint race, I found out this battery had nearly overheated. It was at 65C already. Okay, so that's pretty much a warning, warning. It's gonna shut down soon. All right, so yeah, it definitely pushed the battery to the max. All right, but this Qi battery is awesome. I'm glad I bought it. It definitely it's definitely a step up in performance from these Lightspeed Bikes batteries. If I can get another one of these batteries and then sell one of these batteries, I would love to, or just sell both of these batteries and buy another Qi battery. That's the way to go, man. But I have to get this one repaired somehow. There's something wrong with one of the things. I might open it up myself and check it, but I would have to like seal it up myself too. I think I might be able to fix this battery, but it's not a big deal. I don't really need 3 batteries, but I bring them because I have them anyways, you know. So I might as well use them. We just use this one for practice. The weak battery, we just use it for practice from now on and qualify. But so if we do another one of these Moto America races, the Sierra Nevada Moto Championship races, I think we're gonna do qualifying with the Qi battery. Okay, we'll qualify with the Qi battery, and then I will recharge it. We'll recharge it through the sprint race. We'll use this small battery again. All right, it did pretty good. We'll run it at 15 kilowatts, and then we'll put this. And then when this guy's done charging, we'll put this guy back in the bike, and then we'll run it at 30 kilowatts. Well, yeah, we'll always run it at 30 kilowatts. All right, so that's the tune on it. It has 30. I think that's how it's going to be from now on, guys. It's going to be 10 kilowatts is race mode 1. It's going to be 15 kilowatts race mode 2, and then 20 and 30 kilowatts race mode 3. If I really do need endurance and a lot of power, then maybe we can lower the power to 22 kilowatts. But 30 kilowatts, man. We're going to kill ourselves on this bike. If the brakes fail with 30 kilowatts, guys, it's not going to be pretty. But hey, I have 2 sets of brakes, guys. I have the regen throttle and this. So how did the regen throttle do, guys? I had the same problems I had in the Virginia City Grand Prix, and I tried to iron it all out during practice. Okay, so the configuration, I tried several configurations, all right, and I had with the button down here, I'm hitting the button and then the bike is like dying again. I'm hitting it and I'm putting it in like mode 0, that like it pretty much does nothing, right? And I crash really bad because of that. Or put it in reverse or something. Yeah, man, it's not cool. So what I did is I loosened the, here, let's go check it out real quick, okay guys? Just to show you how good the bikes did. Both of the bikes did excellent, guys. I'm really proud of both of these bikes, all right? This one was like no problem at all. This one just overheats a whole lot. All right. So you might be noticing, hey, your egg rider is pointing like down a whole lot. All right. The reason it's like that is because this thingamajigger here, I'm hitting this when I'm trying to get to this. All right. So this has to be. So if you remember correctly from the Virginia City Grand Prix, there has to be something on this side to prevent this from touching this. If this touches this, then this doesn't work. Then you can't accelerate. Okay, guys? So what I've done is move the egg rider here, and that keeps this from touching this. All right. However, there's a problem with that. When I try to use this, if this is too low, I accidentally hit the bottom button, and it kills the bike pretty much, right? Or it puts it in a lower power mode. And then I notice, hey, why is the bike slow now? The bike feels slower than it was before. All right, and that's what the problem I was having with practice on Saturday. Okay, so what I did 2 things. I basically loosened this and I pivoted up enough where my thumb doesn't get in the way of it. All right, and it worked. All right, and it's easy to get to. It's not too far. It's still not too far, you know. There's another thing you can do is, okay, the next thing we did was we moved. I took this off, I slid this over the brake lever, I slid it over to here, all right, and I used that to be the stopper for this. And then we moved this to the right side of the handlebar, all right. I kind of don't like that there, but it works, all right. But with, yeah, it seems like with this here
and this over here, it seems like it's too far. Like I have to go, yeah, it's like farther. This is farther out. I have to move my grip a lot to get to the paddle. All right, so ultimately what happened in the end, by the end of Saturday, is I said, okay, we're gonna go with this setup. All right, the one I'm using right now. I rotated it forward all the way. That's why you can't read the numbers. That's one of the bad things about this. You can't read anything on the egg rider. All right, this thing is still busted. All right, I'm gonna buy a new one. All right, guys. I like this thing. It's nice to be able to know how much charge you have. I can't tell how much charge I have by looking at the egg rider, guys. The numbers are too freaking small, man. This is big enough where I could read this right away. Okay, and it's reasonably bright in the daytime, type of thing. So I can keep track of my charge in the middle of a race. All right, I guess you should focus more on racing, but you know, it's good to check it once in a while, type of thing. Okay, guys. The brakes work pretty good. All right, I didn't really use the rear brake a whole lot. Maybe I should have tried to see maybe if I could go faster with just using the mechanical brakes. All right, or maybe every once in a while change it. Definitely, you probably want to keep it from this battery, like this battery almost overheated. To keep it from overheating, you could just use the mechanical brakes. Maybe like in the middle of the race, switch to mechanical brakes. I don't know, guys. Yeah. And so another thing is, yeah, we could get bigger front brakes. So I think that's what's next on my upgrade list is the bigger brakes. And then I've got the Warp 9 wheel coming. Yes, we're throwing more money into this bike, guys, but it is incredible the things it can do. Okay. Anyway, so the next race we'll be doing with this is the Hollister Hills Hare Scramble, coming next weekend. So we're going to swap the Supermoto wheels out for some knobbies. Okay.
All right, and so that's the end of the after action review for the Sierra Nevada Moto Championship. All right, round 2. All right, and remember, Hayes Mega missed the first round, but now I got some points. All right, so the cool thing about this race is you get points for the sprint race and you get points for the main race. All right, so you get double points type of thing. All right, depending on how you do on each race. Unfortunately, in the 65 GP, we did really good in the sprint race, and then we did really bad in the main race. All right, so like I got a lot of points for the second race, and then for the first race, and the second race I didn't get any. Well, I'm sure we got some points. Okay, and then for the open amateur, we got 5th in the sprint and 2nd in the main. So I got some decent points in the open amateur race for this bike. So we're probably going to stick with the open amateur. It's a bummer they don't have a 250 race. I would prefer to race against 250s with this. I've got a better chance racing against 250s than the 450s. Right? I'm not going to lie. There's some fast 250 riders out there, guys. So, and like I said, the red shift is kind of somewhere between a 250 and a 450, guys. All right, it's probably got a 450 power, but it's not got the weight thing going for it, man. All right, and then the Super Mini, we got 5th in Super Mini, and then we get disqualified for the second race, so we didn't do too good. But overall, I had a great time. All right, guys. I got to ride in a track that I've never ridden to before. All right, Stockton 99. Hopefully. Yeah, it's not too far from where I live, so if I want to go practice, I could just come down, but I have to make sure somebody's there, you know, type of thing. It's a nice track. I like the facilities. I don't like the town of Stockton, unfortunately. I know, you guys know, Stockton is one of the most dangerous places to live in the United States, all right, guys? I worked there for like 5 years, guys, so I know. Yeah, but also nice thing is it's in the town of Stockton. There's civilization nearby. You're not like out in the middle of nowhere, guys. It's easy to go out and find something to eat or go out somewhere. But I was kind of stuck in the pits. All right, so yeah, that was the first time I got to race at Little 99, that Little 99 kart track in Stockton. Did you get hurt, Hades Omega? No, I didn't get hurt. Did you break the bike? Yes, I did break the bike. All right, I got a flat tire on the rear. All right, and that's nothing. I can't prevent something like that. All right, guys. It's kind of like an act of God type of thing. You know, it just happened. All right. Now maybe it's time to change the tubes in them. Maybe I used the old tube. I can't remember. I think I put a fresh tube in this when I put a new tire on it. So I don't know. Well, well, I make a separate video on when we take the tire off, when we check it, okay? And then the final question is, did you have fun? Yes. Yes, I did have fun. So I raced at a new track. I didn't get hurt. I really didn't break the bike all that badly, okay? I can easily fix it. And I had fun. I had a whole lot of fun. It was a whole lot of fun for that just one day of racing and the practice, and it's great hanging out with people and racing with all your friends. All right, even ones that run you off the track. Okay, yeah, and yeah. So that track it's very flowy. It's very short. It's almost like racing in an oval, guys. But yeah, it was an interesting experience. So the next race for that series will be in Redding, California. So look forward to that. All right, and there will probably be a dirt section, but it won't be part of the Moto America dealie. All right, thanks for watching. Here's Big Out. That's the end of the AR. And there's my prize. All right, so this is what the trophy looks like, guys. All right, I guess the first place one looks a little bit bigger. It's about the size of my hand, guys. It's not a very big trophy, but it's pretty nice. Check it out, guys. So it says Sierra Nevada Moto Championship here. Oh, it's AMA certified, guys. There's an AMA logo here. Oh, they didn't say anything about the helmet cameras, guys. AMA has this thing against helmet cameras, guys. If you watch AMA sanctioned races, nobody has helmet cameras. Okay. I guess it's sponsored by Mission Moto America Mini Cup Qualifier. All right. Unfortunately, only children can race in that. So, all right, this is round 2, 2024. This is a nice trophy. It's got all the stuff, all the info on it. I don't really have to write it. I write on the back of all my trophies, guys. There's a picture of the track. All right, that's Stockton Little 99. This corner here is what got me. A lot of people would pass me here, so I got to work on this section right here. From what I hear, I'm super fast on this back section here, but a lot of people are super fast there. And here, I'm a little bit slow too. All right, I hear bikes catching up to me here, and I hear bikes catching me up to around this first couple turns. Okay, so we got to work on that. All right, I got second place in the open amateur race. It even tells you what race you're in. All right, and then there's a picture of a dude on a sport bike. All right, I think this is the Moto America logo. Pretty rad. All right, and I think this is the Sierra Nevada Super Moto or Moto Championship. All right, guys. Awesome. Had a great time. Here's me out. Oh, and thanks to my sponsor, Liat. All right, yeah, I'm rocking all the Liat gear, guys. So thanks for hooking me up with the safety gears, guys. It definitely made the weekend more bearable. All right, it wasn't super hot, guys. It was like in the 80s, but wearing the dirt bike gear is definitely more comfortable than the leathers. All right, does it feel more protective? I kind of feel more protected with leathers, but the convenience I like of this gear is better, this type of thing. Okay, we'll see how it is in the crash. I think it'll be fine. All right, all right. Thanks for watching. Hey, it's Big Out. Alright, Hayes Mig here. So there's a couple extra things I wanted to point out in the AAR. This guy saved my butt. So what I might just do is for standard operating procedures is just to wear this all the time. Just wear this as a backup camera. It's nice that it's just right there, and I can just hit it and turn it on if the other camera takes a crap on me. I've had that happen a lot in the races, like in the middle of the race the camera dies and runs out of charge or something. So what happened this time is, I think after the sprint races, I accidentally left the camera on, my helmet camera on, and it ran out of charge right when the main races came along, and I was like, oh crap, what do I do? Just put the chest camera on. And that's what I did. So I'm glad I brought this thing, and I was thinking about maybe not bringing it, but always bring the GoPro with you. Okay. I did have another helmet camera, the Ion camera, but I'd already had the helmet and all that stuff on when I figured out, oh, I left it on. Okay. And then about the passing thing, it's the person behind you's responsibility to pass safely, okay? And if you're gonna rub up on somebody, and if you're gonna race rough like that, that's not cool. Okay?
I can't tell who's behind me and where they are and stuff. I can hear you, you know, but I can't see any of that, right? And right, not until he was like right up on me, rubbing up on me, till that I knew that he was there, you know, right there, type of thing. Okay, and then I mean, I guess if I was a better rider, I probably should have known, hey, back off, and then just go take the inside from him, because you've got a lot more drive than him. Because I think he said he messed up his shift or something, and he went slow. I guess that's why he went wide or something. But like that sounds like horse shit to me. but like, if that was the case, I could probably just backed off, and then I take the inside line, change my line to do that, you know. So, but anyway, yeah, it's the person's in the back responsibility to pass safely, and you know, if that's what you got to do to pass, like hit somebody, you know. I saw him. He came at me like twice, man. so yeah, that's not cool. I don't want to race with people like that, man. Okay, I'm not. Yeah, we're not getting paid to go race. We're out there to have fun, you know, and that's not fun if somebody takes you out like that, you know. So I mean, I know it happens, but it's like in the middle of the race, dude. The most dangerous parts of the race is the start and going into the first corner. You know, everything else is piece of cake, you know. And yeah, for something to happen like that, like towards the end of the race, I think it's just, he was just getting anxious. He just wanted to pass me or whatever, and like I think he was going to try to take me out or something. But it kind of backfired on him. All right, so yeah, so that's my scoop, man. That's my thoughts on that, man. You're behind. It's your responsibility to pass safely.
Okay? Oh yeah. Okay. So another thing I wanted to mention is that immediately after the race, I followed Mac to his pit, and I told him, "Hey man, you didn't have to run me off on the track like that." And he seemed like angry. All right. He seemed angry with me or something, like, "Hey, what are you racing this bike for here?" You know, whatever, you know. And you know, it is what it is. But it's like. Yeah, if I was to do some kind of questionable pass like that, I always go to somebody, you know, I find whoever it is, and I say, "Hey, sorry, man, like I didn't mean to do it," or you know, this and that. But he seemed angry, you know. That's not how I am, man. I don't go up to somebody and just like, you know, like, hey, you know, I mean, it's clearly his fault, man. Like, did I do anything wrong? You know, I don't think so, man. I'm just riding here, man, and it's his, like I mentioned, it's his responsibility to pass safely. So, and like, he shouldn't be pissed off like that. He should be sorry, okay? And he wasn't. So that's the kind of, you know, that's what I gathered from that. That's what I get from that. You know, not a good sportsman type of thing. Okay, so yeah, that's the way I see it, man. It's just, that's unsportsmanly like conduct type of thing. All right, you know, go up rubbing on people and trying to take people out in the race, you know. All right.